What's up, guys? Excalibur here. So this Omnitek Algo, I just want to go over and give like a kind of a brief description of it. If you do get it, hopefully this could help you out in managing it and figuring out what it's used for. So right here we have the Omni bands right here. We could have a smaller one. This is the larger time frame right here. You tell it doesn't move as fast as the smaller time frame. And then this the smaller time frame here. This is all three of them with Nessie here. You got the variances, which are used as great for support and resistances. And then you have the Nessie lines, which is going to be your liquidity areas that you want to see how the stock reacts around that time. And then right here in the top right, this is where you put it all together. Um, the thing is, you have the mean, and you kind of want to revert back to the mean. Right here, this is a good point of interest right here. Push back up, play to the mean right here. And that was a good play right there. Broke down, and then you want to see it come out of it. We came out of it yesterday, but we pretty much rejected, with a short here, and you could tell. I'll show ES next on where we rejected, and we could do a quick play to the upside, and then definitely to the downside on that one. But there's a good chance when we're in the green bands that we're going to move out. There's a good chance in the red bands when we're going to move in. It's all about your highest probability trade. Yes, when the stock's up here in the red, like Tesla was basically all last year, you could still make money going higher, but it's not the highest probability of trade. You want to look for stocks that are down here. Of course, we've been doing nothing but going down. You can tell the bands are starting to fade downwards. We're kind of like getting a little bearish. You definitely want to see how stocks react down here, and then you want to play it to the mean. Also, with the bands and Nessie, you can see future price points, and I'll show that on the future charts. I'm going to go through ES, Apple, and AMD on Friday, and let's just go ahead and dive into those. So I like to use 2-minute, 10-minute, and hour for the bands, and on Apple or AMD, I actually showed how I use previous price points, so we can actually go through ES right here. Unfortunately, ES I can't do replay. So overnight session, we had a nice, we sold off Thursday. Overnight session, we found a nice little base here, probably a nice buy-in. You can tell we had a nice bounce, push it up. Overnight session, overnight session, futures trade. Future traders can make really good money out over overnight session. First thing we did on a 2-minute, we rendered down, which you could have played this up. This probably would have been let's turn on the bands to see what it was. We had, right here, bounced off this variance, pretty solid. Came up here, so I would have played from this variance to there if I wanted to go into a long. But that would have been not the best probability because we're downstepping right now. We're kind of in a bearish sentiment. We're downstepping. You want to wait for this to actually like kind of flatline a little bit more and then take the trade. So right here on Friday, you could tell, even turn on volume, using volume to help you. I don't know why my volume looks like that. When we did render up, we had a huge volume candle, which was probably a pretty decent sell. So that's why we rendered up. We had liquidity here. Liquidity is just the transfer of shares from a buyer to a seller, or from a seller to a buyer. So we have a nice liquidity here. We tapped it. We did break above, but we did fall, and we continue to fall. PTs would have been previous places we rendered. I like to do them on the 2-minute, 10-minute. You can tell we did render up here. We also did render up here previously, which we could tell right here. We go to 10-minute and see what we do rendering wise and use those price points. You can tell this one, on the 10-minute we did break down, we did shoot up from that 10-minute. So using both the 2-minute and 10-minute chart, actually that long probably would have been pretty good. Would have been quick, would have been a little bit risky. You can tell we broke below and we're kind of just stair stepping down. We definitely want to wait for us to start stair stepping up to get into a bull market. Apple, I'm able to do the rewind right here. You can tell these variances were kind of nice support and resistances. We're in this green band. We did render down at close and we're staying under. I want to see us hit. We're going to play it probably there. Let's see what it looks like to there. And these are like just the bigger renders on the 10-minute. The 2-minute we're still under 2, so definitely opening at Apple was a nice, looks like a decent play if we could break above this variance right here. We're holding above this on the 2-minute. We have 2 renders at this 165, so let's just see how it plays out. We broke it above that 165. We did render up right at the mean on the 2-minute, and we started to fall. We did bounce off that variance again. Went up, hit the variance a couple times, hit the Nessie render. You can tell probably a short below that 165 probably would have been the best to take it down to where we're once again bouncing off that variance. Looking on 10-minute, see how that played out. We did stay below and we did bounce off of it once. You could have taken a quick long right here from 162.55 to 163.93. That would have been a quick little play, but overall sentiment at that sell-off was selling, so that's how we did. But this is how AMD looked. I have 2-minute, 10-minute, hour, and an hour. So we have nice hours down here. And we have a 10-minute, 2-minute. So we have a nice cluster up here. We have a cluster probably around the mean. This is, let's see if we could break up or we could break down. So you want to see us, hopefully push past here, past this Nessie, push up to here. Or if we reject that Nessie, we could go down to 118. Let's just see how that plays out on the 2-minute. Or we'll go to 10-minute, make it a little faster. No, we're holding that variance right there. At first we rejected the 121, this 10-minute right here. Came down, actually re-rendered. Right there, 118.66. Broke up. And there we are to 125. So that would have been our play. Where we kind of rejected. We saw the initial rejection. We saw it rendered down. That would have been a nice time to get into on this variance right here. Rejected. We consolidate around this 125 area. But there's liquidity around here. There's either people buying, they're price selling, starting to sell for it to drop down. And then we drop down there all the way back to the initial Nessie line that we probably would have got in. So we took it all the way up. 125.14. It hit 125.02. So definitely would have been great play. Saw the rejection. We could have taken that rejection all the way back down to probably this mean area where a 2-minute and 10-minute have previously rendered. I look back for a lot of stocks. We have to look way back because we're looking at October prices. How this looks on the 2-hour. The 2-hour, just stayed across. Really didn't do anything until it rendered down. So definitely would have played this on the 10-minute. You can tell how we broke above this variance, bounced, broke up. How it looks on the hour. Mainly with the hour, you want to play these bands. You know, we broke below. We broke below here. So this would have been a nice short losing that band. We're kind of holding this band, and then we broke above. Would have been a nice call right there out of this band. But we're kind of just, you know, riding this band down. So that's how I use Nessie and the Omni bands. You know, when they do render up, render down, they're not automatic cells. You got to use multiple time frames. You got to use the bands. You got to figure out what play would have been the best probability. You know, think ahead. Definitely like mark your areas 210, 210, and then hours down here. You can tell how we perfectly pushed up to this double cluster on the 210, the 2-minute and the 10-minute here, and rejected it. Went back down. So that would have been your perfect call here and your perfect put all the way back down to this 1 hour. You can tell how we bounced perfectly on these 1 hours. But that's all I want to show you guys. Definitely worth every penny. Tesla plays out well. There's a lot of stocks that do follow these perfectly. Definitely, you know, scalping SPX SPY with this is really helpful. And then looking long term on the bands. But hopefully y'all enjoy your weekend, and let's crush it tomorrow when the stock market opens.